What's up, guys? Jay Liberty here, and here to give you another video. And today, it's gonna get spicy, because you're gonna get to know all of my political views, but not too detailed, because part of what I want to do with this channel is foster conversation. And I know that there's even some people I know that don't know quite everything about what I view politically. Traditionally, I've been at least viewed as a conservative, but my views have changed. Not too substantially, but there are some areas where my views have pretty drastically changed over the last, I would say, 5 years. Um, so I'm going to give you a brief overview of everything everything I believe, at least politically, and what I want from those of you who are watching is to either comment or reach out to me, or if there's anything that you want to discuss, even if it's just something that you disagree with, something that you want to press me on. I want to be open and available to rationally discuss anything that we want to talk about. I want to get people involved. I want this to be a community. I don't want this to just be one person up here just making reaction videos, because those are boring. So hopefully by the end of this, you will have enough things about me that you're just like, I hate this. And then you can let me know and we'll talk about it. All right. So, boring slide number 1. Yes, I am a limited government libertarian. I know there are some libertarians who, haven't read a dictionary, and they are anti-state libertarians. I call that anarchy. So limited government libertarian is just anarchy without the anarchy. Basically, I believe in individual liberty. I believe that people should have the freedom to do whatever they want to do, whether it be, whatever religion they want, whether you're gay, straight, trans. You can do pretty much whatever you want, as long as you're not infringing on my rights and infringing on my liberty. You can do whatever you want. There's also a role of government, because there is limited government. But I believe that government, as it is prescribed by the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution, state it just perfect, in my opinion. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Obviously, you want to protect life. We want to preserve liberty for every individual who lives here, and the pursuit of happiness. That doesn't mean you're guaranteed happiness. That doesn't mean that the state gets to give you things just because you want to sit around. That doesn't mean that you are owed anything. The only thing that you are given is the right to pursue that happiness, as long as it does not infringe on the life liberty of other people. Government officials in a limited government should be limited to state legislators. I really don't like there being a president. I don't like there being senators. I don't really like there being all these different chambers, because they're useless. I mean, I said limited government, I'm not a statist. But I think that there are things that should be legislated at a basic level, because I think there's always ways that you can further either deregulate and make things more culpable to a free society. But I also believe that there are things that we can do to kind of settle disputes in a fair and just way. And just meaning everybody has the equal capacity and right to that justice. So it should be limited to state legislators, ambassadors to foreign nationals to foreign countries, and court judges to settle disputes, constitutional disputes. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm a pure constitutionist, because I'm not. I do think the Constitution is the best written document as far as government ever, aside from the Magna Carta. But you take that for what it is. I don't want to go too much into it. Law enforcement. Oh, this is everyone's favorite thing, law enforcement. Because I tend to have a more practical view of law enforcement. I believe there should be a dual accountability. There should be a citizen and government bureau for checks and balances for law enforcement. Because one of the things that's always come up is who holds the people who enforce the laws, who keeps them accountable. Well, if you have two equal law enforcement agencies, in my opinion, that would kind of solve that problem. Now, there are things I believe about that, but again, I'm here to tease you, not inform you. I would like laws to be simplified. I like simple things. I think it's kind of bullcrap that people who maybe either like less educated or just aren't as studied in law, people shouldn't have to hire a fucking translator for their rights. That seems ridiculous to me. Taxes, everyone's other favorite subject. Everyone loves paying taxes. No. Military defense budget. I believe that there should be a military defense, very limited in scope, defense being the key word, and you'll see that later. Fire brigades. I do think that there should be a effort to make sure that every community has at least some level of emergency response. I think that's a fair compromise on public funding and law enforcement and immigration services. And again, that's law enforcement on the one half of that law enforcement. And immigration services, as far as like border patrol, regulations on who should come in, who don't, because a lot of legislating in my mind, in a pure libertarian society, would be basically how we govern the relationship between our country and other countries. Because that should be our choice. That should be our problem, not some bureaucrats. Immigration. Because here's the thing. I think all of us could pretty much. There's people who are anti-immigration. Let's just say it. They are. But I think a lot of the problem with that, or not the problem, but I think a symptom of that is the fact that there's not enough, one, regulation into that, and two, welfare and things like that people who cross illegally or stay here without renewing their visas that they take advantage of, that takes away from Americans' rights and Americans' accessibility to those things. And I think in a free and independent society, we'll be able to bring more immigrants who want to take part in the American dream. That's it. When you foster freedom and leave people to their own devices economically, while also establishing basic law and order, sky's the limit. And I think that could be the same for immigration as well. Speaking of economics, I also believe in the free market. I am not a socialist, as you can already probably tell from my last video. I love the free market. I don't love global free markets because China and India and some parts of the UK, they don't value free market, and they take advantage of the system and take advantage of American goods, services, and I just call me an isolationist, I guess, but I do think that we have enough resources here to do just fine. But I do understand that there has to be some foreign trade. Um, but free markets, as far as like how businesses operate here, I'm all for it. It's a deregulated market, uninhibited by government regulations, eliminates barriers to entry. A big problem that we have right now is small businesses have too many barriers to entry because of regulatory costs and regulatory overhead with time and effort to get through those things. One being, see, I don't want to get into it. See, that this is why it's interesting, because I don't really want to get into like too much, because I really do want to have conversations with you guys about this, and see what you think, and hear your thoughts. Next, a strong national defense, all caps, defense. We don't need to be going into other countries, bombing other countries for whatever the fuck political reason. I don't care. I really don't. Do I care about the people who are suffering? Yes. But do I think that we need to send our people to go out and die to overthrow a regime that has nothing to do with our country? No. Sorry. Not sorry. Meritocracy. People hate this word, but I love this word, because meritocracy has kind of become a curse word in economics, especially on the left. But here's the thing: is all of the meritocracy. I mean, you get most of the people that are going to be watching this are libertarians anyway, and so you know what I'm talking about. But a meritocracy is based on is really based on the principle that if you have something to offer to society and offer to the marketplace, you'll do just fine. And part of that is deregulating and privatizing education, because the government has completely raped education, dumbing it down, trying to get equal outcome rather than trying to do the things necessary for the people who are struggling to make sure that the most gifted and talented among us, and the not so talented among us, end up at the best place possible. Government can't do that. Because it would eliminate the shackles placed on the schools by government failures. Because the government has failed. They keep throwing money at the problem. And I think that's the key aspect of meritocracy. Starts in the school with education. Because if we don't educate our children and we don't educate our youth, they will not know their full potential. First Amendment. You can pretty much read the Constitution on this one, because I pretty much agree with all of it. Not pretty much, I do. Second Amendment. This is this is one that I will probably catch a little flack for. No regulation. I don't, unless it's like crazy shit, like chemical biological agents, like having nukes in your backyard. Like, I think that's kind of unnecessary. Would I necessarily outlaw it? I'm still up in the air about that, but it would be more of a plea. But I don't believe in regulating arms at all. Because as a libertarian, I cannot justify having a national defense without having a populace that can defend itself against its protectors if they turn tyrannical. And that's just me. There's other things around that, though. I mean, because there's people who believe that, but there's also people that believe that you can lose that right to your Second Amendment. I don't. If Bob goes and commits a crime, he goes to prison, even a violent crime. Let's say he beats somebody to death, crime of passion, whatever you want to call it. Serves his time, gets out. He served his time. He gets his rights. We don't call them natural rights if we can have them taken away. For the same reason why I really struggle with the death penalty. I do believe that if somebody were to come and attack me, I can defend myself. And if they happen to die while I'm defending myself, that's just me defending myself. But do I think that we should capture people and kill them? I mean, you'd have to do something really, really bad. But yeah. Privatized welfare by participation. What does this mean? It means that we don't freaking pay taxes for welfare. It means that we basically go back to the old system of giving to your church, giving to your community centers, giving to your synagogues, your mosques, and all this other stuff to take care of our immediate communities. Because I definitely care about people in my immediate community than I do in a place halfway across the country. Because my family is here, my friends are here, I'm here, and I would want to be taken care of, and so I'm going to take care of my community. Here's another one that people don't like about me. Freedom of information. I don't think there's a single thing that government should know that we don't. I think a well-armed and well-educated free society is best equipped with the truth. I don't think government should be keeping secrets from us. I don't care how bad it is. Because if we're well-educated, which a libertarian society would be, and a well-armed and equipped society can handle anything that comes at us, to be honest with you. Because otherwise you're just having government tell you that they're more, that they're better educated than you and better equipped to handle those, times of distress or just or national emergencies. Like, why is that not the people's problem? I can't stand the notion of just sitting back and waiting for somebody to protect me. And yeah, so that pretty much covers the gist of most everything that I believe. Because there shouldn't be much to government, guys. There shouldn't be much to it. Simplified laws, being able to do basically what you want, allowing the market to flourish, letting people, giving people the incentive to grow and to be successful based on the work that they put into their skill set and what they can offer to society. Not just giving them, equal ownership of a company when they've never worked there except for like a day because they're scanning packages. Like, I just can't stand that kind of notion. But when you open everything up and you give the people the power in society, then that means everyone has the equal opportunity and access to that power. But let me know what you guys think. And if there's anything that you guys would like to discuss, hit me up. We can either do a video on it, we can live stream it, you can call me, you can hit me up in the comments, whatever you want to do. But until next time, see you guys later.